But to the best that you can, if you could just tell us what happened.
Last night, we was at the gas station. Car pulled up, and they all jumped out and opened up our doors. And in fact, the book bag had bullets, guns. He had duct tape.
That part where you said there's 3 individuals that are involved?
No, she was saying
Tyree and this guy named Chuck. I don't know this.
This case leads us to Beckley, West Virginia, where 19-year-old Amber Meadow resides with her aunt and uncle. Despite her mother's absence, Amber received caring and loving support. Excelling academically throughout her upbringing, she maintained outstanding grades. However, as she matured, life became increasingly challenging. Upon reaching 18 and 19, Amber started spending time with a less desirable crowd, much to the disapproval of her aunt and uncle. On July 8, 2018, as 19-year-old Amber ventured out with her friend, the routine of their usual outings was abruptly shattered. In a stark twist of fate, a distressing call reached 911. Through the receiver, a female voice recounted a harrowing tale. They had fallen prey to abduction by 3 black males and 1 white male, whisked away to the confines of a hotel. Hours dragged by under the threat of a gun until finally the grim truth emerged. Amber had been shot, her life slipping away within the hotel's walls.
911, where is your emergency?
We needed an ambulance and a cop at the Travel Lodge on Arthur Road. My friend was just shot. She's laying in the floor. I'm not sure if she's still alive or not.
Okay, I need you to see if she's breathing. It's
I can't go back up there. We have been kidnapped. We have been kidnapped since yesterday.
The 2 girls would tell officers how they had been kidnapped and held at gunpoint for several hours. They stated after sitting in the hotel room for a few hours, one of the males took Amber into the adjoining room and shot her. After shooting Amber, all 4 males ran out of the room, leaving the 2 friends to be able to. As they were running out, they saw their friend Amber shot in the head and lying still with a pool of blood around her. She never answered when they screamed out for Amber, so they knew it was terrible. They would also run out of the hotel room but call 911 for help. As the officers surveyed the scene, a grim discovery lay on the floor. A blood-stained hoodie, a silent witness to the violent act that had unfolded. One of the females, her voice trembling, identified the garment as the attire worn by the assailant who had mercilessly shot Amber. Inside the hotel room, signs of a struggle painted a grim picture. Broken lamps strewn about, a chair barricading the door in a desperate bid for escape. Summoned to the scene, the crime scene unit meticulously combed through the evidence, uncovering a crucial clue, a bullet fragment embedded in the doorframe, a stark testament to the brutality of the attack. Amidst the chaos, a Walmart receipt emerged, a small yet significant piece of the puzzle. Notably, it revealed a purchase of ammunition for a handgun, with the store conveniently located near the hotel, casting a chilling shadow over the investigation. On the day of the crime, the hotel's security cameras were ominously silent, failing to capture any evidence. Undeterred, the detective managed to procure a driver's license from the individual who had rented room 48. Delving into the depths of the name inscribed on the license, they unearthed a troubling revelation. The license had been reported stolen mere days prior to the fateful incident. Adding to the intrigue, Amber friends found herself escorted to the station for a formal interview. According to the first witness, 3 friends were stationed outside their neighborhood gas station in a white coupe during the morning hours. Their tranquility was soon disrupted by the arrival of 4 men in a red Jeep. The victim also caught wind of one of the men's names, identifying him as Laquan. She recounted to detectives how the 4 men exerted pressure on the girls to accompany them to a hotel room. According to her, there was a sense of reassurance among them as Amber recognized the acquaintance, leading them to believe it was safe. As she recounted the harrowing events, the victim described a chilling moment upon entering room 48. It was as if a switch had been flipped. Laquan, the main aggressor, swiftly positioned a chair to barricade the door, brandishing a gun from his waist. Amidst his frantic demands, he instructed his accomplice to retrieve a bag containing more firearms and ammunition. The victim vividly recalled Laquan's violent outbursts, his tirade punctuated by blows directed at Amber, his threats echoing in the confined space. Meanwhile, the other men coerced the remaining females at gunpoint, exacerbating the sense of terror and helplessness.
But to the best that you can, if you could just tell us what happened.
Last night, we was at the gas station. Car pulled up, and they all jumped out and opened up our doors. And was just screaming. And that's where Amber was, and I said she's in the storage in the bathroom. And Laquan went in and got her, and they seemed fine, but they was arguing, a little bit. We got upstairs. Everything changed. Fighting with her, and he would make her get up and go to the bathroom and made her lay in the tub and scream at us a little bit. It was just chaos for a long time.
During their investigation, detectives sat down with the second witness, who echoed the same harrowing account. She recounted how they all ventured into the hotel room together, only for the situation to spiral out of control once inside. The male identified as Laquan seized a bag containing an ominous assortment of firearms, bullets, and duct tape. As tension mounted, they found themselves huddled on the bed, with Laquan ominously positioned at the foot, his weapon trained on Amber's trembling visage. His threats reverberated through the room as he menacingly vowed to subject her to further violence in the adjacent bathroom. Then, in a sudden, chilling turn of events, he commanded Amber to move into the adjoining room, where a deafening gunshot shattered the already fraught atmosphere. Both witnesses adamantly asserted to the detective that the shooter could be none other than Laquan, alongside a white male known by the nickname KB, who had been driving the ominous red Jeep.
The book bag had bullets, guns. He had duct tape. Everybody was in one room where the beds was. He was like, she shot herself. I knew she did. She wouldn't have done that.
The detective wasted no time in retracing the steps of the alleged abduction, heading straight to the gas station mentioned by the girls. Upon scrutinizing the footage from the day before, a crucial piece of the puzzle began to emerge. At approximately 12:45 a.m., Amber's car glided into view, pulling up to the gas station. As the vehicle came to a halt, Amber stepped out and made her way into the store, leaving her friend behind in the car. Inside, she made a beeline for the bathroom, unaware of the impending danger lurking just outside. Moments later, a red Jeep rolled into the gas station, its arrival marking the beginning of the sinister plot. Without hesitation, all four males exited the vehicle, with three of them converging on Amber's car, while the white male, known by the moniker KB, headed towards the store's entrance. Within seconds, one of the males disappeared into the store, his destination clear: the very same bathroom where Amber was. In a chilling twist, both Amber and the suspect emerged from the bathroom together, signaling the beginning of a nightmarish ordeal that would unfold in the hours to come. After lingering outside the gas station for a few minutes, one of the males slipped into Amber's car, a move seemingly designed to ensure she complied with their demands to drive to the hotel room. As tensions simmered, Amber found herself embroiled in a heated argument with the male who had accompanied her into the store. His aggressive stance and frenzied gestures suggested he was yelling at her. In a moment of defiance, Amber reversed her car with the driver's door ajar, lightly tapping the male suspect. With a sense of urgency, she sped away, the male hastily retreating to the waiting Jeep, which then followed them to the hotel. Meanwhile, the detective pursued leads related to a Walmart receipt, meticulously combing through surveillance footage from the store. Their efforts yielded results, uncovering footage of 3 black males purchasing ammunition concurrently with the timestamp on the receipt, adding another layer of intrigue to the unfolding investigation. The male at the gas station, who had engaged in a heated altercation with Amber, was identified as the same individual who made a purchase of 2 boxes of ammunition, paying in cash. This transaction aligned perfectly with the timeline of events. Surveillance footage captured the trio exiting Walmart, their images crystal clear. Subsequent footage from the parking lot depicted all three males converging on a dark-colored vehicle, which whisked them away. Further scrutiny of the footage revealed a significant detail. The three males had arrived at the store 20 minutes prior to purchasing the ammunition. Exiting a dark-colored vehicle, they made their way into Walmart. Notably, the driver of the car, a white male matching the description of the individual known as KB from the gas station, was also captured on camera entering the store. This revelation provided a crucial link in the chain of events, drawing the investigation closer to unraveling the truth. Officers from the crime unit swiftly identified KB as a known dealer, revealing his true identity as Caleb Bird. The investigator meticulously traced Caleb's whereabouts back to an apartment he shared with his parents. Notably, the distinctive red Jeep spotted in the gas station footage was observed parked nearby. Caleb was promptly apprehended and transported to the station for questioning. The investigator was keen to hear his side of the story, particularly given the assertions made by the two females that KB had been the driver. As soon as Caleb stepped into the interrogation room, he began to sing. Was Caleb intelligent for speaking? No, he simply recognized the weight of the evidence against them. Caleb proceeded to disclose the identities of the two other suspects, Tyreek, a male, and another individual known by the nickname Shaka. He elaborated that the third male, David Hudson, preferred to go by his middle name, Laquan. Investigators were already familiar with the two female witnesses identifying Laquan as the assailant. Caleb then recounted the events of the night of the crime. They were all casually roaming the city when, passing the gas station, Laquan spotted Amber's car and instructed them to pull up and park, claiming he needed to talk to her. After parking the Jeep, they exited, and Caleb went into the gas station to buy chips. Upon returning outside, Laquan directed him to get back into the Jeep, stating they were all heading to the hotel to hang out. Initially, everything seemed relaxed, but once they arrived at the hotel, Laquan's demeanor shifted drastically.
That part where you said there's three individuals that are involved? No, see what I'm saying? Tyreek and this guy named Shaka. I don't know his name. Then there's a David. He went over and talked to her, and I went back to my car. Was he accused her of Yeah. And then he started hugging with her, gave her kids. Tyreek gets in the vehicle with them, and we bumped into the traffic lights. He's flashing guns out, and he was going back to hammer, put him up to her head, and intimidate her, make her cry. I said, it's empty. And they said, no, it ain't, no, it ain't, no, it ain't. Bow. And that went off right in front of my face.
Thanks to Caleb's cooperation, detectives managed to apprehend two males, Tyreek and Antonio Williams. Nevertheless, their search for the gunman, David, persisted. Hours after Tyreek, Caleb, and Antonio were taken into custody, investigators received a call from David's mother, informing them of his willingness to surrender. David turned himself in, but he remained silent during questioning, invoking his right to legal representation. The evidence against David was compelling. The hoodie worn during the shooting was recovered, along with proof of his purchase of the ammunition used to kill Amber from Walmart. Moreover, Caleb and the two female witnesses identified David, also known as Laquan, as the perpetrator. In January 2022, the trial commenced. Antonio Williams entered a guilty plea for kidnapping and voluntary manslaughter, resulting in a 20-year prison sentence. Tyreek and Caleb also pleaded guilty, admitting to conspiracy to commit kidnapping and murder. Surprisingly, they avoided incarceration by cooperating with authorities and testifying against David Laquan Hudson. David vehemently professed his innocence throughout the trial, but the evidence proved otherwise. He was convicted on 3 counts of kidnapping, first-degree murder, use of a firearm, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping and murder. As a result, David received a life sentence without the possibility of parole, condemning him to spend the remainder of his days behind bars for his reprehensible actions.